All right, here we go. More Space Marine rule testing. We got Blood Angels versus a Slaanesh cult with mostly medieval weapons. So we'll see how that goes. And here's our table. And just going to be the basic gang fight. Alright, starting off, the Slaanesh Coven has Investigation 5, Subversion 10, Blood Angels, Investigation 10, Subversion 6. So we do the investigation roll first, see who gets to choose a side. Alright, let's add that up. Alright, so the Space Marines get to choose a side. Alright, we got our Space Marine deployment right here. This is our champion here, the bolter and hip shooting. We got a scout there, just the bolt pistol and a knife. Our leader, the hand flamer, power sword, and he's got 3 attacks. And this is just a Space Marine. And then we go over to WAP, our Slaanesh warband. I'm not gonna name it all for you. We got a big mutant there. We got some guys with bows and arrows. Got a leader with a shield, a new item I'm trying out. It's like a downgraded version of the Storm Shield, or the Arbites, the shield the Arbites get, and the Inquisition gets it too. Anyways, here we go. Subversion roll to see who gets the first turn. Oh, they roll exactly the same. Slaanesh has 10. They're going first. Yeah, so we got the Slaanesh team running up to their cover, trying to close the distance. We got the 3 archers back here, who they just scooted over, and they are going to become hidden because they're just doing a normal move. I'm using these as hidden tokens, like they're ducking down. I know, it doesn't make sense, but makes sense to me. Alright, so pretty much no shooting, nothing else. It's just going to be going over to, we have some guys with psychic powers. I should have thought about that. But I don't think anyone needs to do any psychic powers yet, so I'll just give it to the Space Marines. We'll look at the psychic powers for turn 2. Alright, so we've got these Space Marines who've moved up a bit. This guy ran up the side. He's got some view of the cultist there. Our sergeant just walked up. He doesn't want to get too close to this cultist ambush. And where's our... we've got our scout here. He walked also. This place is going to get flooded probably in a minute, so... And this guy ran up, he's got hip shooting, so he's about to fire on these cultists he can see over here. Alright, so that Space Marine firing into that cultist. That is the sustained fire dice, 2 shots, hitting on 3s. Alright, that's pretty good. And they're going to be wounding on 3s also, both wound. Let's see, I rolled a 6 last time, so there's an ammo roll I gotta take. Let's take the ammo roll for the bolter, see if it jams. It does. But those 2 wounds go off, and the cultists don't have any armor, I don't believe. Let's see. No armor, just 2 injury rolls. Oop. Alright, double down. Now, I didn't do those rolls quite correctly. I should have rolled each one individually for this first hit cultist. Saw if any took him out and took him down, and then any additional ones I could allocate to cultists within 2 inches of him. So that could have hit both of these guys. I was rushing through it. I'm gonna say it just hit one guy, just to be generous to the cult of Slaanesh. Alright, he is down there. I just wanted to say the cult of Slaanesh gets a ability called Power from Pain. Everyone gets it. For every flesh wound a model has, it's getting +1 attack and weapon skill, I think. It's 2 stats, and I'm pretty sure those are right. So if he's back up with a flesh wound, he will be empowered to be even more aggressive. Alright, none of the other Space Marines have range for shooting, so that is going to be the end of the turn, and it'll be Cultists of Slaanesh turn 2. So once again, none of the psychic powers would have been particularly useful, so I didn't bother with them, and I just ran everybody up. Everyone that ran could, trying to crowd in, smash, get this Marine right here. I'll take those tokens off later, but everyone that could ran, so these guys all tried to get a better position to shoot some arrows maybe. Those bows and arrows are going to be probably useless against the Space Marines, but it'll be funny to see. Alright, so that's pretty much the end of the turn for these guys. We can do the recovery for this guy, see what happens to him. He's still down. Right, going into Space Marines turn 2, and we're gonna go ahead and do the movement now. Alright, so we have our normal brother moving up here. He's going to try and take a test to see if he can shoot not just the closest model, maybe try and get some shots on these guys through there. Our sergeant ran around here to help support this side with this tide of chaos filth coming at our champion. Champion moved back, ready to light these guys up, and the scout is eager to get some shots off. So we'll do shooting now. And I have finally printed out and formatted a good deal of my Necromunda or Inquisimunda codex. I've pretty much spliced in the relevant parts of this codex with the Necromunda Community Edition codex, and that makes it really useful. I can find all the rules right where I need them. What am I looking? I don't even remember what I'm looking up now. I gotta stop doing tangents. Give me a sec. Alright, what I wanted to look up was, this guy is a mutant, but he's a big mutant, and I wanted to see if there was a bonus to hitting him because he's big or something. I don't believe there is. I would have written that down, so I don't think I need to look it up. I'm just gonna do the shooting now. Alright, our Leadership 8 champion can make a roll leadership test. Ooh, he does not pass it, so he cannot shoot past the closest guy. Or he has to target the closest guy, so. Hold on a second. Somehow, right as I'm doing his shooting roll, I am remembering he ran out of ammo. He failed an ammo tech last turn, and I forgot to mark him. That was a big mistake. I'm wondering if I should let myself make him charge rather than fall back and fail to shoot. I think I'm gonna just say he charged. Say he went in for it. So that is gonna be his new move. Out of ammo, having charged into those guys. That's the charge token. Alright. We'll continue with the shooting of this guy. Okay, so we're gonna just do our shooting with this scout right here. And I just wanted to mention, scouts are weapon skill 4, ballistic skill 3, as I currently have them. So he's gonna be hitting on 4s normally, shooting at this guy, and he's got some cover, so hitting on 5s, not close range. The scout has bolter drill, so with just one shot, and hitting on 5s. Ooh, nope. And we are going to have this battle brother over here try and shoot the leader right there as well. There, now you can actually see him. That Space Marine is hitting on 5s. He's got bolter drill. Still just one. Okay, hitting on 5s. can't get anything in that dice tray today, but that was a 5. So the leader's shield protects against his front 90-degree arc. So he's facing like this, and the Space Marine's bullet is going to just barely pass through the edge of this. So it's being reduced from strength 4 down to strength 3. Wounds on a 4. God, why can't I? It didn't hit. Alright, so the leader is hit and pinned, but not injured. And that is... oh, now this guy's got a fight right here. So the Space Marine charged. I think he gets to choose... yeah, whoever's turn it is gets to choose the first combat. So do this versus the more dangerous lady. We don't want her fighting second to get that fighting second bonus. And it wasn't even changed on this. I've been changing some of the rules while I've been after I wrote this thing. But the only Space Marine profile that's going to have 2 wounds is the Primaris. So Primaris Scout and I'm sorry, not wounds, but in terms of attacks. Primaris Scouts and Primaris Astartes will start with 2 attacks. Firstborn and Firstborn Scouts are just going to start with 1 attack. So these guys should all have just a single attack. And this guy would have 2. I'm going to change that right now. So the Space Marine is getting his 1 attack, and the Slaanesh Acolyte getting 2 attacks. Ooh. So the Slaanesh Acolyte is getting 9, and the Space Marine is just barely getting 9 because he charged. It gets that +1 bonus. They are perfectly tied. It's going to go to initiative, and even that is tied. So they're just at a draw right there. Okay, going into combat number 2 here. This cultist with the axe versus our Space Marine. Space Marine gets 1 attack, still gets the bonus for charging. And this cultist is getting... he's getting 3 attacks. 2 for normal, he has 2 weapons, and then 1. We'll re-roll that 1. Ooh, alright. 1 is for fighting second. Or I should just say fighting after a... I'm not going to try and explain it right now. Okay, so it looks like the Space Marine wins by 3 and gets 3 attacks on the cultist. And the Space Marine's power armor boosts him up from strength 4 to strength 5 in hand-to-hand combat. So he's wounding this cultist on 2s. Oh, that cultist got lucky. 2 don't wound. The 3rd one looks bad. No armor for the cultists, just an injury roll. Okay, he's down. So this is the situation at the end of our Space Marine turn. Going back to Slaanesh over here. Okay, starting the Slaanesh turn, we're going to try and have our leader recover from pinning on initiative 4. He makes it. So our Magus leader has recovered from pinning. These are his psychic powers: Precognition, Doppelganger, Cursed Luck, Tragic Suggestion, and Embolden. And then Pleasure and Pain and Leader are his, abilities. These warp. What is that? It's one of the things you can roll here. I know I'm going on a tangent again, but Well of Power. That's one of the minor abilities you can roll. There's Warp Tap and Well of Power. Well of Power, Psycho might roll an additional D3 minor psychic powers. So he got a D3 on that one. That was pretty lucky. Warp Tap he doesn't have, but some other guys have it. And this one lets you take an additional major power instead of the minor. Instead of the minor psychic power. So, yeah, I just wanted to point out why this guy had so many psychic powers and why this is next to it. Anyways, we're going to do Cursed Luck. Try that one out for this turn. Alright, got to make a Leadership 8 roll. Oh, man. 10. Does not make it. Alright, just got done with the Slaanesh turns movement. These guys are coming in for this Space Marine. And we've got the leader, the Magus, charged into our champion who's out of ammo. These guys are crawling around, you know. These guys are charging in here, probably going to take a flamer to the face, and our big mutant back here is readying, trying to get in a good position to charge. So we'll go into, I don't think there's any shooting, everyone ran, so just straight into the close combat. So for our close combat, we are starting with our Acolyte right there. She's got 2 attacks, because of 2 close combat weapons, plus her weapon skill 3, so a fumble, and then 2 plus her 3 is 5. Space Marine's got 1 attack, plus his weapon skill 4, so that's going to be 10 against 5. Plus the fumble, 11 against 5. 6 hits for the Space Marine. Here are the 6 hits, wounding on 2s. Alright. So here is where I do have some mixed feelings about the Necromunda rules. The fact that strength, when something gets to strength 4, it's got the -1 just automatically. And then when you to strength 5, you're at -2. This is for armor save, obviously. It's -2 to an armor save. See, she has mesh armor, which gives her the 5+. And this Space Marine being strength 5 is getting -2, so pretty much ignoring her mesh armor, which I guess it makes sense. It does make sense when you think about it, but you are paying for that armor like 25. I guess that's pretty cheap for, you know. I'm gonna shut my mouth and do the roll for injury, because her armor doesn't matter to the Space Marine. Injury rolls. I should have done these in order, but either way, she's definitely dead. Or down for now. And out of action. Oh man, our Acolyte taken out, swatted by the Space Marine, and now we're gonna do this guy. I'm wondering, charges don't have to fight first, do they? Let me check that. No, it looks, I mean, the way I'm reading it is whoever's turn it is can play out the combats in whatever order they want. So, here we go. Space Marine gets his 1 attack. Not so good. Our Magus has the Witchblade and a knife, so... Alright, taking the 4. So the Magus is beating the Space Marine by 2. Getting 2 hits on him. Wounding on... let's call it a 6, yeah. The Witchblade is strength 5, so wounding on 4s. The 6 is a wound right there. And let's see the AP. -1, so the Space Marine gets his 4+ save. Doesn't make it, loses 1 wound. 1 wound left. I need to get some better wound counters, but that's it for now. Take the charge off. And that's the only combat this turn. So going back over to Space Marines, we'll take a quick look at the board real fast. See that mutant in there? Get these guys. Okay, for Space Marine movement, this guy jumped back to get a shot at this guy and get away from these guys. Our scout is going around this cover right here, trying to get a shot at our mutant guy. And Sergeant has charged into these 2 cultists. This guy's still locked in with the Magus. We'll start with shooting for this battle brother. Did a sustained fire dice. 2 shots. Hitting on 2s. Alright, those hit. Wounding on 3s. 1 wound. Injury roll. Alright, down. This cultist gets blasted. Next we'll do the shooting from the scout into our mutant here. Sustained fire. Ooh, 3 shots with that bolt pistol. So there's a little bit of cover, but the bolt pistol is +2 to hit at close range, so hitting on 3s. Oh no. And it's going to be a 4 to wound this guy. Oh, no wound. Alright, we'll continue this combat right here. Space Marine's 1 attack. Pretty nice. Versus the Magus's 2 attacks. Ooh, okay. The Magus is again winning by 2, so getting 2 attacks, wounding on 3s. They both wound. And the Space Marine's getting his 4+ armor save. Ooh, that was very lucky for him. So he just made it through those wounds. And now on to the Sergeant versus the, we'll do the Hammer Cultist first. They're pretty the same weapon, they're massive weapons, so. Alright. Sergeant has 2 attacks normally, +1 for being dual wielding or having 2 close combat weapons. Okay, there's a fumble, and we got a 5 as our highest, plus his 4, which is 9. Here's the Cultist attack. Ooh. Plus that fumble. That could be bad. Yeah, so that Cultist is winning by 1, getting a smack with the hammer, and I think it takes him to strength 5, so watch out, that wound's on a 3. That's a wound. And because it's strength 5, it's taken the armor save from a 3 down to a 5 also. So 5+, or he... Oh, he makes it. Nice. Alright, now we're doing the next combat. And I realize I keep forgetting something. We'll do the Space Marine's 3 attacks first. He gets a 6 as his best. Now what I keep forgetting is second combat, when you have someone fight one person first and then they're fighting the second person. The second person is getting an additional attack dice and then also an additional +1 to their whatever the total combat score ends up being. I always forget to add that additional +1 to the combat score at the end. So Cultist is having 2 attacks. Alright. A fumble. That's good for the Space Marine. And then he's also getting +1 to that. So he's at 3, 3, 6 in total. Space Marine's got him for sure. 10, 11 against 6. So Space Marine's getting 5 smacks on him. Doesn't matter which weapon, but they're all wounding on 2s. Alright, 2 don't wound, but 3 do. Cultist has no armor, so just injury rolls now. Alright. I always need to do the injury rolls in order here. We'll do, if we roll a 5 or 6, the flesh wound is what he ended, what rolled last, and so he'd be up. Anything else, he'll be down. 5 and 6, so. Down, down, and then flesh wounded. And honestly, I know that's the way you're supposed to play it. You roll each one, and then whichever the last one is what you go with. I don't like that. I'm gonna go with, you take the worst of the rolls you get. It doesn't make sense to get smacked 2 times hard and then smacked a 3rd time so hard that you're fine again. That doesn't make sense. So we'll call him down. And so here is the table at the end of the turn. This guy's fine. I've been forgetting about this big mutant guy. He has the leap special ability, and he could have made that charge when he was standing over here. He could have jumped across and got the scout and probably even the sergeant, honestly, if I had remembered he had leap, but we'll see. And something I forget everything. I can't remember anything. I should have been rolling last turn, at the end of last turn, to see what happens to these guys. I'm gonna do that now before I go into their next turn. So for this guy right here by the pipe, he's still down. And for the guy by the combat over there, he is also still down. And so as ready as Slash is to wreck some Space Marines, they do have to take a leadership test, because they have 4 guys down. I think 3 is the limit they can have. Ooh, 7. Their highest leadership is 8, so they're good. Alright, this is the Next Slaanesh turn. Got our mutant charged into the sergeant. We have these guys moved up to try and pin this Space Marine down with some bow and arrow shots. We'll see if that works. And the Magus is just trying to take out this champion right here. Hopefully he can do it this turn. We'll start the shooting here. This cultist with his bow and arrow into the Space Marine, hitting on a 5. Nope, that cultist misses. And we have our acolyte with a bow and arrow going into the Space Marine, hitting on a 4. Nice. Wounding on a 5. Nope, but he is pinned at least. Alright, so there's a chance that Space Marine will be slowed down next turn. Let's see. That was all the shooting. Now we're just going into close combat. We'll start with the Magus versus the Battle Brother here. Space Marines attack. Ooh, alright. I should have been thinking about psychic powers because I could have used Cursed Luck on the Magus, let him reroll something, even though it let the other team make him reroll something, but we'll see. Let's see. Just because this is an experimental game, I'm going to give the Magus a roll like he tried to manifest Cursed Luck. Oh, he doesn't pass, so he doesn't get it anyways. Alright, Space Marine rolled a 6. There's the attacks for our Magus. Oh, he got a 6 also, so it looks like they're tied. Yeah, they're tied for combat score and also for initiative, so that is at a standstill, and we'll finish up with this combat starting with the cultist. We'll roll the Space Marine and cultist attacks. Oh, the sergeant has a lot more than that. He's got 3 attacks, so 2 more. Alright. Sergeant is beating that cultist by 3, and getting 3 attacks against him. Let's see, one is going to be with the hand flamer, so that'll be a strength 3. The other one will be, I guess it's knife, combat knife, so they're all strength 5. All of them wound. Go into injury rolls. We'll do them one at a time, but no. I already said I'd roll them all at once and take the highest, the worst. Yeah. Down is that result. So this guy's getting knocked over too. 2 cultists taken down by this Space Marine Sergeant, and now it's going to be him versus the mutant. Does the Sergeant's attacks. Ooh, good, but also a fumble. The mutant has 2 attacks normally, and it's got an additional one because it's fighting second. That's really bad for the mutant. 2 fumbles. So the Space Marine Sergeant is winning just by 1 fumble and getting 1 attack on that mutant. Oh, let's see, at strength 5, it's ooh, higher than that. Strength 7 power sword on that Space Marine, or it's wounding on 2s, we'll say that much. There we go. The strength is so much that it is completely ignoring the whatever armor that he has. So that is 1 wound on the mutant. He's got 1 left. Alright. Intense combat. Ooh, that would have been a tie. See, this is where I always forget that thing. I did not add the +1 for being second to fight for the mutant. I always forget that, and it really does affect combat. So that would have been a complete tie. Unless the Space Marine beats him on initiative. Let me check. Oh wow, the mutant does have an initiative that's 1 lower, so they would have tied. It would have gone to initiative, and then the Space Marine would have won. Still, he's got the wound on him. That was a fair shakeout. All right. Before I forget, I should do the injury rolls for all these guys at the end. So this guy first. Oh, he's flesh wounded, so he's back up. Back up with a flesh wound. Next we'll go to this guy. Down still. This guy who crawled out of combat right here. Still down. And this other guy who crawled off to the side here. Still down. Alright, going into the Space Marine turn, we've got this guy trying to recover from pinning early. He passes on initiative 4. Alright, this guy is staying still because he's got a nice open shot here. Our scout charged into this guy to take him out, so as soon as he hits, that will take that guy out of action. And our sergeant and champion stayed in combat. See if they can win those. We'll do the shooting here from the battle brother into this guy, so he can potentially spread out the shots, the extra shots if one of them dies. Sustain fire. Ooh, one, and the ammo roll. We'll do the ammo roll first, so I don't forget. He does not pass. He's out of ammo after this goes off. So that was his last shot going into this guy, hitting on a 2. Oh no. That is just cocked up enough. I know I let all the other ones go and called them flat, but I'm feeling generous to myself. There we go. That's a hit. I should probably be fair, because I don't want to give the Space Marines an advantage. That was a 1. We'll call it a 1. That was his last shot, and it was a miss. Pathetic. No. Alright, so for close combat, we'll start right here. 1 attack for the champion. It's a good hit. 2 attacks for the Chaos Magus. Oh, and a fumble. Not good. So that champion is winning by 2. And I've been forgetting about the shield, of course. So the Space Marine is boosted from Strength 4 to Strength 5 by his power armor. And the shield reduces it back down to Strength 4. So these are going to be wounding on 3s. Alright, they both wound. And since the attack is Strength 4, the mesh armor save of the Magus is reduced just down to a 6+. 2 6+. Let's get 1. There's 1. I don't know why I was thinking this Magus had 2 wounds. I think that's the Nurgle Magus. But anyways, 1 injury roll on him. Oh, out of action right away. Smacked and taken down. Alright, if this combat here is a loss, I'm going to call it. I'm going to say the Space Marines got it. Dang, I did a roll for the Space Marine attacks without recording, and it was like 2 2s and a 1. And that could have been a good chance for the this mutant to win there. Okay, here we go. Here's the actual attack on camera. Ooh, probably even worse. 2 1s. 2 fumbles. Okay, let's see what the... Alright, these are the attacks from the Acolyte Mutant. Alright, a 5 and no fumbles. Alright, so the creature, the mutant, Slaanesh mutant, is winning by 2. Getting 2 smacks with his sword and claw on the Space Marine. So, what is that? He's Strength 5 with the claw, so wounding on 3s. Ooh, both wound. And -2 to the Space Marine's armor save, so that is going to be 5+ save. Whew. Makes both. Wow, that armor. I should have been able to do a follow-up move with this guy because he took the Magus out, so I'm going to have him do a... Oh, no, he's just going to follow-up charge into this guy, take him down. Step on him. That will be the follow-up there. Alright. Going back to the Chaos turn, they're going to have to take a bottle test on Leadership 7. That's all they got left. And they run away. Space Marines scare them off. They don't take a single casualty. So, they might be a little strong. But you gotta remember, this warband was all melee. It was a pretty close quarters battlefield, but they these guys really had no big shooting, and I think the Space Marines are not going to do so well with their low model count against, you know, some special weapons, or especially any heavy weapons are going to take out 1 or 2 of them. And yeah, so that'll probably balance it out. This was an especially easy match for them. I think the close combat, all close combat, they had bolters. They're just tough in close combat on their own. So, yeah, that's it. I'll do one more look at the board. this scout was getting ready to gut that guy with his little knife. And this guy is just gonna probably get mobbed, but he can take him. Alright, that was this game.